Greetings, humans. It can be surprising how much beauty can be found in a simple desert. Minoka is the perfect example. Ranging from mesa to dunes to salt seas, this region of Arkadan has it all. But let's start somewhere before we get lost in this vast and gorgeous wasteland. How about we meet the people of Minoka? Minoka, also known as the Sand Owl's Land, is home to many humans, and other species, of course. Many of these people are salt harvesters and cobra harvesters. The vast salt seas are where most of the salt harvesters get their stock. Salt can also be found in the sand by sifting it, but it's way less efficient. Oh yeah, and about cobra, it's basically an hallucinogen. It's also called cobalt powder in certain regions for its characteristic deep blue color. It's not actually cobalt though. This resource is cultivated by sifting the sand and collecting it. Just be careful if you ever plan on collecting cobra on your own, cause when you inhale it, it causes the hallucinations. You could make a lot of money though. Big risk, big money. Maybe I should get to it. Anyways, if we move away from the harvesters and focus more on the people, it's very apparent that the Sand Owls people are grounded in the community. The elders are viewed as full of knowledge and are respected by all. This is why it's usually elderly people who have higher positions, which lead in some cases to have a government based in the past and not willing to change from the good old days. Minoka's culture is rooted in sharing and understanding of others. Families often live together for a very long period of time in the same household, no matter the social status of said family. Oh, and speaking of social classes, let's talk a little bit about that. Unlike Skatevi, the Sand Owl's land have very defined social classes. First of all, we have the harvesters. Usually they are very respected and quite wealthy. They spend most of their time harvesting either cobra or salt. Then we have the salt people. Those are civilians, just normal people, probably like you. After that, we have the cyclors. Oh, those guys are very cool. They are the warriors and the defenders. They are also beast trainers, so they kinda train beasts, I guess. Their job is to protect villages and cities, so they're pretty cool. And last but not least, we have the Olskats. They are said to be the descendants of the Sand Owl itself. They're usually nobles and are almost venerated by the salt people. One of the many perks of being an Olskat is that you have access to fancier temples to pray and venerate the Sand Owl. Even though there is a clear separation between these different statuses, there is not an actual hierarchy. Well, there is one, but no one really knows how to classify it. An harvester could have more power than an Olskat, but it could also go the other way around. It gets confusing. So let's talk a bit more about their culture instead. Minoka's inhabitants are proud of their land and heritage, and this reflects a lot in their clothes, mostly composed of warm colors, brown and pops of blue to represent cobra, which is a big part of the salt people's culture and economy. The wardrobe of these people is filled with long garments that can protect them from all of the sand and wind. Yeah, the weather there isn't so kind. It's not rare for big sandstorms to pass over villages. Really, the conditions of the Sand Owl's land are not easy. It's atrociously hot, dry, and the sun feels like it's burning your skin. Well, yeah, Minoka is a desert after all. But these conditions are the usual for the people of the salt. They're used to it. It's basically just another day. As for today's weather, well, it's just another day. Oh, what's that? You want to know a bit more about the Sand Owl? Well, of course, but Just a little bit, cause this might get its own video if I have the motivation. It's believed that the sand owl is the creator of sandstorms. As it flies over the sand, the flaps of its wings sends the sand flying everywhere. After all, it is a giant bird with blue feathers on its wings. Ooh, and about those blue feathers. Cobra is said to come from the sand owl. When it loses one of its blue feathers, the feathers falls on the sand and decompose itself into blue sand, cobalt powder. This is how cobra veins are created. Then the harvesters just have to find it and harvest it. Enough about that giant bird. Minoka is a beautiful land with many stories to be told. So if you'd like to learn more about this region and other regions of Arkadan, you can check out the Arkadan playlist that I have made, or you could even join my Discord server to chat with others about your thoughts on Minoka or even other regions. I don't know yet which region I'll make a video about next, so let me know if you would like one in particular. While you wait for my next video on Arkadan, check out the video I made on Skatevi. Until next time we meet, human traveler, and may our destinies cross again.